Congratulations. Today is the anniversary of you becoming Brighton manager.
Yeah,
3 years today.
Yeah.
How do you assess the 3 years?
Oof, wow, how long have you got?
All day.
Well, great. I mean, I've thoroughly enjoyed my time here. Not to say that it hasn't been really challenging, of course it has, for different reasons on and off the pitch, but overall, I've said before, really fortunate at a fantastic football club with really good people. I think we've made progress on and off the pitch. I think we have. So, yeah, just a very happy, when I look back, a happy time.
I think the fact you're still in the job is success in itself when you look at football management these days. Your final game of the season, quite a defining game for a whole campaign's worth of hard work, could lie on this result, finishing in the top half of the table or in the bottom half of the table. It's fascinating how it could, 90 minutes literally could sort of finish the memories of this season either positively or negatively. How do you see the game with West Ham and the importance of finishing strongly?
Yeah, of course we want to win the game, that's for sure. Obviously they're fighting to potentially go, I think it's 6th, is it? So, I mean, you look at the league table anyway, and there's a lot of games where there's stuff riding on it, which I suppose is great for the Premier League. Which just goes to show that the margins, as I've said, all here are quite small. But for us, yeah, try and win the match, and then we'll see where that takes us. You've got to be careful, I think, because it's you've got to see the whole year, and you've got to see the memories that we've created and the performances that we've given, and how much we've progressed, how much the players have progressed or the team's progressed. But you can't deny that a win probably keeps you in the top 10, and it's a fantastic achievement for us.
How impressed have you been with West Ham and David Moyes over the last couple of years? Are they essentially the model for what Brighton would like to be, competing in the Premier League, in and around the top 8, top 10, and then developing and progressing in cup competitions?
Well, I think they've done fantastically well since David's gone there, that's for sure. He's done a fantastic job. I think the fact that he hasn't really been spoken about this year tells you just how well he did last year and how almost it's become a bit of the norm. But it's still a semi-final in a major European competition and top 7 in the Premier League. I mean, considering where they were when he arrived, he's done a wonderful job. Every club's different. Everybody got their own structure, etc., etc. They've invested over the years, I think, West Ham. But I think the arrival of David Moyes has taken them on another level, and he's done so well. I have a lot of respect for him, his career, overall, what he's achieved in the game, and I think it's nice that he's having this period at West Ham and he's having the success he is.
We go to West Ham on Sunday as the final game. Unfortunately, over the course of the last week or so, we've seen a lot of incidents after games where teams are celebrating success by survival or promotion or playoff campaigns, and this is clearly becoming an issue now for the Football League, the Premier League, and for clubs. What do you think, as a manager, can be done to perhaps alleviate this or change the narrative of this successful moment that is great for these players, but actually is now being marred by some individuals? And is there a concern for you with your players that something could happen on Sunday where West Ham fans want to celebrate a fantastic campaign, but there are one or two that do it in the wrong way?
I think you have to say it's a big concern. You understand the football, you understand the emotion, you understand people want to celebrate. But the incident at Nottingham Forest in particular, when their team's gone through, it's shocking. I mean, that's somebody doing their job but standing on the side of a pitch at work and getting assaulted. So I think while that's happening, we all have to have a think about how this is going to go forward. I mean, if you go back over time in football, you'll look back at these iconic moments and there'll be people on the pitch and okay, but as societies, I don't know, there's the double argument that behaviour has got worse, arguably, especially post-lockdown. So we have to have a real serious think about how we manage ourselves in the next, certainly the next coming games, and it's a bigger question for football, I think.
And just final points from me. It's that time of year where inevitably you and your backroom team will start looking at next season and building and shaping a squad. There'll be a lot of interest in your players, because clearly there's some very talented boys within the team. What about keeping players as well? How important will it be to keep some of those players that are out of contract, the likes of Pascal Gross or Danny Welbeck? Have you got any updates on anything that may be happening with some of those players that you'd like to very much keep at the club?
Well, Pascal and Danny are really close, I think, to agreeing everything for next year. I think it's just a matter of time, bit of formality, so that's great. Two guys that have played massive roles, I think, for us. Pascal, longer role in terms of the time he's been at the club. He's been really important for my time here. Great on and off the pitch. Same with Danny. You can see recently in his performances, he's enjoyed his football and he's injury-free, which is massive for him and for us. So, yeah, I think we're in a good place. The squad's in a good place. You can't control the summer window, so but we're sort of prepared for that as well, and we're always looking ahead, and we're always sort of planning for any eventuality. But that's the fun of the transfer window.
I'm glad you said the word fun.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Always.
Hi, Graham.
Hi.
Seb from PLP. I don't think Brighton have been in the top 10 since they were in the Premier League. Do you think, regardless of if you make it into the top 10 after Sunday, do you think it will be the best season Brighton has had in a very long time?
Well, that's probably not for me to answer, to be honest. I've only been here 3 years. It's been the best year that we've had in my 3 years, and then I wouldn't want to disrespect anybody's memories or anybody's efforts past that time. But the points tally, where we finish in the league, we'll obviously see after the game. As I said before, we've been competitive in a lot of the games, taken some really impressive results. Performances, I think, have improved. Young players have taken steps. So there's lots of positives, I think, but this club's got a history as well that I don't want to disrespect.
Considering you've improved from last season, do you think you can improve even more next season, and where would you be looking to be next season?
Well, that's the challenge always, is to keep improving. And last year we had 41 points. We felt that those points didn't reflect the performances from last year. I think we played a lot better than the 41 points suggest, but we know also that if you don't get them, then it is what it is. Obviously, we sold Ben for 50 million, which is a huge sale for us, and strategically a fantastic moment for the club. Challenge is to keep improving. Not easy to sell that type of calibre player and to improve. So we did that well. Dan Burn in the winter window as well. So. The challenge is to keep improving the team, keep improving the club, and improving your points tally in the Premier League. So, but that's what we'll do. That's what we'll try.
A word on Sunday. Do you think your players' motivation to finish in the top 10 will be as high as the West Ham players' motivation to get that Europa League spot?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, as I've said before many a time, our guys they're ambitious. They're determined. They're at the start of their careers. They want to succeed. They want to do better. And it's one game left, and it's a home game against a top team that we have a lot of respect for. But I think it's going to be a good game because West Ham, they have to win. Draw isn't going to change anything for them, or even a defeat in terms of where their league position is. So a win is the only way they can get above Manchester United. So that in itself makes it an interesting game. So I'm sure everybody, both sets of players, will do their best to win the match.
Last one from me. Can you kind of talk us through what's going to happen now until the start of next season, the different stages of the summer break?
Yeah, I mean, straight away after the game, the guys will be free and go away. If they're not playing international football, there'll be about five and a half weeks, something like that. We'll report back on the 27th. The internationals will come back a little bit later. And then into pre-season, we've got a week away planned, and a 6-week period of pre-season training before the next game. So it'll come around very quickly. Thanks for reminding me.
Thank you very much.
Graham, sorry the boring bit. Enoch and Sarmiento, how are they?
Enoch will be in the squad. probably not from the start, but in the squad. Jeremy a little bit soon, but he's getting really close, so it's more just to give him some more time. But both of those, if the game was a couple of weeks away, would be fine.
We talk about the summer. How important is it for players to have a break? Football seems to just be constant. I know the noise is constant, maybe not always the action, but some of these players will be playing international, so a break is important for them however long they get, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they need a minimum. I'd say a minimum of 3 weeks, really, just to physically. It's not even physically so much, I don't think, Johnny. It's more psychologically, just to get away from the training ground, get away from thinking about the next match, that type of stuff, the demands, the scrutiny, the pressure, all that stuff. Just important to spend it with the families, have a different perspective, come back, try and gain some enthusiasm and gain some freshness for the season ahead. The level of athlete that we have, really, it's not like the old days where you'd worry about the condition they're coming back in. It's not so much that. It's more just to break with the families and just to stay away from a training ground and have some time on the beach or with the kids.
Jeremy's already had a bit of a breakthrough this season. Evan Ferguson's another. Spoke to him in the week and he was saying how he's so much has happened so quickly for him. Yep. What potential does he have, sort of looking forward? Because he's such a young lad, but obviously he's made his Premier League debut already. Yeah,
and he's only 17, and you forget that, especially when you watch him play every day in training. And that's what we've done this year is expose him to training regularly with the first team, and he's not looking out of place at all. You can see his quality. We're responsible, of course, because of how young he is. So a lot of that we consider in terms of decisions we make around him. But he's done fantastically well, really has. We're so pleased with him, so happy with him. It's up to him to keep moving. I don't like to. I think with young players, you're better off assessing them after they've played 40, 50 matches, because otherwise you can get caught up in the euphoria and the potential of what it is. But the reality of it is, until you've done that amount of games, it's hard to really say. But everything that you need, he's got. Character-wise, really good. Personality, really good. Mindset, really good. So we got a lot of faith in him.
Because you've done this before with Raider Kadra, Adelafai's come onto the scene as well. Do you imagine pre-season you might take a few of those youngsters with you again and develop even more of them?
Yeah, I think so. I think that naturally happens, I would say. And then it's about, we've had some guys that have been with us from the start, from pre-season, from the start. You've always got to assess, it's a balancing act between what's right for them, what's right for us, where they're at, loan, training the first team. But no, it's going to be quite exciting to see people have the break as well, and they come back in a slightly different mentality and frame of mind. So you have to see how that pans out. But we're looking forward to it.
And how important is it to finish on a positive note? You've kept the momentum going really, really well in recent weeks. How important is that as a platform to then sort of go away, have the break, but be feeling in that positive frame of mind?
Well, yeah, it's better to be that than the other way, isn't it? Of course, like I said, we'd have to assess the whole season regardless of what happens on Sunday. But still, it'd be nice if we could win. That's for sure. I'm sure David Moyes would say the same thing. We'll both try and win the game, and then if we can manage to do it, like I said, that'll be points tally that we're proud of, and it's a position in the league table that we're proud of, and then behind that, all the work that we've done, I think we can be happy. But until then, it's just a case of preparing the game as we have done, deciding what's the right thing to do for the game, and then trying to win.
And just finally, obviously West Ham United have got one club man, Mark Noble, who'll be retiring on Sunday after the game. Just maybe some thoughts on him and how rare that is. You've got Lewis Dunk, who's played his whole career at this football club as well. How do you see that, and those two, how you compare them as professionals?
Well, it's probably fair for me just to speak about Mark in terms of the career that he's had. It's a wonderful career. One that I'm sure he's very, very proud of when he sits back with his family and reflects on what he's achieved and how he's conducted himself as a professional. It's something to be very, very proud of. Obviously, I congratulate him because it's a huge achievement to play that long, to deal with the pressure of of playing at the level that he has for so long, and to be loyal to the club, supportive of the club. I think the role he's played recently is very impressive because he hasn't been in the team as much, but still has the respect for the club, respect for his teammates to always perform well when he's needed. So he's had a wonderful career. Obviously, I wish him all the best in his retirement.
And Lewis, someone you don't see it very often now, do you? Like
No.
Those days where someone stays at a club for pretty much for the whole of their careers.
No, exactly, and I mean, I think Lewis has got a few more years before I speak like that
Yeah.
about for him. But
Can he make it to 37?
Oh, can I make it to he's 37? That's it. No. Yeah, he can because he looks after himself so well. He's as he's got older, I think he's got more and more aware of what he needs to do, how he needs to look after himself and his body. He's more and more intelligent, as you'd imagine. The more experience he gains, the more knowledge of himself and the team and the game. So these little things help as you get older. But he's in fantastic. I mean, I think he's had a challenging year. First sort of major injury he's had in his career, so he had to psychologically deal with that. Wasn't easy for him, I don't think, because his standards are so high. But I think you've seen recently he's back to his top form, and we didn't have any doubts, of course. But it's a process still you have to go through, and you have to help him through it. So delighted with him. He's been fantastic, great support for me since I've been here, and we're delighted to have him as a one club guy.